Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about one of the lead code question from array section. This is the question number 599, which says minimum index sum of two lists. So what this question is and how we can write the solution for it, everything we are going to discuss in this video. So let's get started for that, and let me try to come out of it and go to this lead code. So here you can see I am on the lead code, and this is the question that we are going to develop today, or we are going to solve today, you can say. So how you can reach out there, so let me try to go out of it. So you can see you can go to this lead code array section, and then if you'll go down, this is the question number 599 that you have to solve. So you can scroll down and then go to this 599, and here you can see we are on this question. So you can see that this says minimum index sum of two lists. Okay, so what this question means, let me try to read out the question for you, and then we can start doing the development for this. So given two arrays of a string, list 1 and list 2. So we have two arrays of a string, list 1 and list 2. Find out the common string with the least index sum. So this is what we have to find out. Find out the common strings. So we have two lists. We have to find out the common from those two lists, common element from those two lists, or you can say common string from those two lists with the least index sum. So the common element should have the index sum, and that index sum should be least. That is what we have to find out. A common string is a string that appends or you can say appears in both lists. That is the one thing. A common string with the least index sum is a common string such that if it appeared in list 1 I and list 2 j, then I plus j should be minimum value among all the other common strings. So let's say we have three common strings between this list 1 and list 2, but we have to only choose those common string whose index sum is minimum. That is what it means. So if there are more than one common string whose index sum is this minimum, or you can say, let's say index sum is 0 or 1, and the other common string also having the index sum as 0 and 1, then we have to keep all those common strings. Okay, so that is what we have to do. Return all the common string with the least index sum. Return the answer in any order. So the order is not important, but we have to return all the common string with the least index sum. Okay, that is what we have to do. So here you can see, if you go down, you can see the example 1, which has the list 1, and it contains the list of a string like Shogun, Topeka Express, Burger King and KFC. And list 2 has PRT, The Grill at Torrey Pines, and Hungry Hunter Streaks and Shogun. So between this list 1 and list 2, you can see only one string is common, which is Shogun. Okay, so and if you are going to calculate their sum of their indexes, it would be 0 from the first one and to the 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 for the second one. So it is 0 plus 3, which is 3. But again, we have only one common string here in this two list. So that is what we are going to print out, or that is what we are going to return, you can say. Now if you see for the example 2, we have list 1, which has Shogun, Topeka Express, Burger King and KFC, and list 2 has KFC, Shogun, Burger King. So this list 2 contains all the elements that are already there inside the list 1. But again, we have to find out the common element with the least index sum. So if you see the Shogun in the list 1 is index having 0, right? And if you will go to the list 2 for the Shogun, it has index as 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Now you can see the KFC for this list 2 is 0, and for this list 1 is 3. So 3 plus 0 is 3. That means it has like the sum of these indexes for the KFC is greater than the sum of indexes for Shogun. Okay, so we have to keep Shogun here. Now if you'll go for the Burger King, you can see for the Burger King list 1, the index is 2, and for list 2 index is again 2. So the sum of that indexes for Burger King is 4. That means we have Sogun, the list index sum is 1. For this KFC we have 3, and for Burger King we have 4. So the list index sum element out of this 3 is Sogun. So that is what we have to return here. Again, if you'll go for the example 3, you can see we have list 1 we have 3 elements like happy, sad and good, and list 2 we have 3 elements called sad, happy and good. And if you find out the sum of their indexes for happy and sad, it will come as 1. So we have to keep both of them in our answer. So that is what the tricky one. So let me try to write down the code for it. So this is about the problem and how we can write out the code for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to convert the first list into the map, and what I will do, I will try to keep the key as the element and value as the index of that particular element inside the list. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to convert the first list in the form of map, and then we'll try to iterate through the second list and find out the common from map and the list 2, and whichever is the common, we'll try to see their indexes and then we'll try to keep them in the result. So that is what we are going to do here. So let me try to start coding for it so that you will get the better understanding what we are going to develop here. So let me try to convert list 1 into map 1, and let's say you can say map. So what I'm going to do, first of all we have to create a map of a string and integer, okay, and then let's say its name is map, and then we have to use this hash map. Okay, now we are going to iterate through the list 1, which is let's say int I equal to 0, I is less than list 1 dot length, and then I plus plus, and what we have to do, we have to put this thing in the map. So map dot put list 1 I and then index as a value. So we are keeping the element as a key and their index as the value into the map. So we have the map now. Now what other thing we have to do, we have to iterate through the list 2. So let me try to do that. Int I equal to 0, I is less than list 2 dot length, I plus plus, and then what we have to do here is we have to find out. So we are going to put a if condition and say that, let's say map dot contains key, and the key should be list 2 value. So we are iterating through the list 2 and we're finding out each element of the list 2 inside the map. If it is there, then what we are going to do is we are going to check out there. We are going to keep the sum of their indexes. Okay, so let me try to create a variable here called mean sum, or you can say sum, or let's say mean sum, index sum, you can say index sum equal to I from the list 2, and then we have to find out the value of this key from the map. So how we can do that? It is map dot get list 2I okay, and we get the value for this element from the map as well, and we are also getting the index value from the list 2, and we are summing it out. Now what we have to do is we have to check if. So before that, I'm just going to keep a variable called, let's say, final mean sum, something like that, equal to integer dot max int, and we are checking that if index sum is less than the final min sum, then in that case what we are going to do is let me try to again create a result list where we'll try to put the result that we are getting. So for that, let me try to create a list. I will explain you everything that we are doing here. So list of a string, let's say it is final result and equal to new array list. Okay, and what we are going to do here. So what we did here is we created one variable called final min sum, which has the maximum value inside it, and we are trying to keep the minimum index sum. Okay, so for that only what we did is we created this variable. When we are doing the sum of this ing, or you can say from some of the index, the common index from list 1 and list 2, then what we are doing is we are updating that sum with the final minimum. So whatever index sum is minimum, we are keeping it inside the final minimum. Okay, so for that is why we created this final minimum variable. So let me try to do one thing. Final minimum sum equal to, if it is less than, if the index sum is less, then we have to put this index sum inside the final minimum. That is why we created this out. Okay, so let's say index sum equal to this, and then we have to clear out the final result. Let's say if it can contains anything, right? But we have to keep, it can contain any value. Let's say there for this one, if you go for this example 2, or let's say if you go for the example third one. So for this good, we have the index sum as 4. So for the first time, if the good is coming, then the index sum will be less than the final minimum sum, because final minimum sum has the maximum value. Okay, so in that case we have to keep this good one, right? So once the good one is there inside this result, then again we are going for this happy inside, which has the minimum index sum than the good one. Okay, so in that case we have to release out this good one, and then we have to add this happy inside. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So let me try to call a release. Clear is there. Clear method on this list, so that it can clear the other result and keep the minimum one. So, and then we are going to add it, final result dot add, and what we have to do, we have to add the this common element, so which is, you can take from either list 2i, anything is fine, or from the map you can take. Now there is another scenario. So for this one, for the example third, you can see there are two elements which has the index sum equals, and we have to keep both of them. Okay, so that is what we are going to do here. So if index sum if this one is there, if index sum is double equal to final minimum sum, then in that case we have to keep the value again inside the final result. So final result dot add, let's say list 2i. Okay, so this is what we are doing, and then we will try to convert this list into the array, and then we'll return it out. Again, let me try to explain you what we are doing. So first of all, what we did is we converted out our list 1 into the map. Then we are iterating through the list 2 and also iterating through the map. So we are checking each element of list 2 into the map. If it is there, that means we have the common element. Now what we have to do is we have to find out the sum of their indexes. That is what we are doing with the index sum. And then we already created one variable called final minimum sum with the highest integer value, max integer value. And this final minimum sum variable we created only to keep the track of minimum index sum value. Okay, so now what we are doing is we are iterating through the list 2. We are finding out the common element between the list 1 and list 2. And then we are adding their index sum. Whichever is minimum, we are keeping into the final result. And if it is equal, then also we are keeping it out. Otherwise, we are clearing out the result. If it has like higher values, then we have to clear it out and keep the minimum one. That is what we are doing. Okay, as simple as that. And once it is done, what we have to do is we have to convert it out into the string array, because it is not taking the list. So we have to convert it out in the string array and then we have to return it out. So that I'm going to do return, let's say final result dot to array. And then inside that we have to create a new string array, and that we have to also provide the size of this final result array that we list that we created, and then we are good. So we are converting this list into the array and then we are returning it out. Okay, so this is what the solution is. So let me try to run this out and then see how it is working. So we are getting some error here. Max int integer dot max int, it is not taking class. Okay, now I'm making some mistake here. Is it max or what it is? I'm not sure. Let me try to run this again. Let me try to search. Max underscore value. It is not max int. Okay. Again, let me try to run this out and then see. Okay, so it is failing. Okay, why it is keeping this thing 2 times? Okay. Let me try to keep this thing here. So we are clearing out the result and then we are adding this list 2. Okay, so it should be else if, not only if. So let me try to run it again. So you can see it is working fine now and all the cases are accepted. Now let me try to submit it out and then see. And here you go. You can see it submitted successfully and it took only 8 milliseconds and it beat 88.27% of the solution. So this is how you can solve this problem. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.